Hello everyone, it's Scott and welcome back to another episode of Regrowth. Well, here I am underneath the uh, auto farm, the farm block from Forestry, and this is the network that's making the whole thing work. So I ended up moving and expanding the Railcraft low pressure boiler tank and solid fuel boiler firebox. And I expanded it to a 2x2 firebox and a 2x3x2 tank. And what this does is it takes a solid fuel, in this case coal, and a water source, and converts it into steam. And this steam is being piped over through a fluid pipe over to the commercial steam engine. And this block is another Railcraft object that takes steam and converts it into RF power, but it tops out at 40 RF per tick with a 200,000 RF storage. And so this guy's running full out right now. It's bright red, and it's feeding RF power into the network where it's being absorbed by the farm. And how I'm producing the water is I ended up building a Buildcraft pump over a 3x3 solid water little pond. And it turns out that when the water's in this configuration, it turns into a infinite water source. And so this pump takes a little bit of RF power, a very tiny bit, and basically gives a continuous stream of water. And this water is feeding both the farm block, where it's exceeding the needs of the farm, and producing RF, or producing the water for the steam. And then unfortunately the RF power production right now is barely enough to keep this farm going. So I ended up dismantling the other water pipes. And oh, by the way, I then need to find a way to pump out items. And it turned out that the hopper was the fastest item pump, which is dropping items into this chest where they're being pumped out by double wooden engines back into the piping system, which leads to my upstairs storage. So let's head up and take a look at the farm. Now, unfortunately, it's a little bit laggy. The report is still, it says I have a pretty good frame rate, but I'm not really trusting it. It just feels a little slower than normal. And part of the problem is that it's gathering the material, it's gathering the farm, but what I think are the agricraft crops. But I think the problem is that whatever it is in the scan, these 10-10-10 seeds are growing new material, and I think there's probably some sort of sweep back and forth that's going on, and the logic of the farm is gathering up these seeds as they grow, and then not making it any farther than this back row. So if I were to provide power, a full amount of RF power, I think it would actually be a perfect square here, and I'm not getting these last bits of material. Now, we can see that I've kind of reached the end of the range. I probably overbuilt a little. I think right here is the last line that's gathered, and I don't know if increasing the RF will increase the range, because I thought in testing we can see here that it goes out to this this far. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks here, and so I think that it should also go 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's only going 5 blocks out in this direction, where I think it should be an even. Yeah, see, it's going much farther out here. So I think that it's just running into an issue where it's not getting enough power, and so I think this episode I'm going to work on increasing the RF production with my new osmium. So, and yep, so just here we can see items circulating around and getting picked up by the Java barrels. And so with this, I have a pretty good, what's going on? It's trying to throw me a bone. Okay, there we go. I guess something must have died earlier. And so the I've got a pretty good amount of material here. and it's ever increasing. So 16 stacks, etc., etc. So all these are eventually going to tick up as things get absorbed by the Java barrels. So on to the soul seeds are almost at 10, 10, 10. They're up at level 8. The gas just has a little bit more to go, as does the uh, the slime seeds. Now up here I have a full field of 10, 10, 10 Ardite and Cobalt, and so with the Iron Scythe I can very quickly gather up tremendous amounts, and I think I'm going to end up upgrading all of my armor and weaponry to Manulin. It just has a much better a higher mining level, faster mining speed, and better durability than my iron-based items. And I'm also working through osmium here. When I think these are somewhere in the level of 7, yeah, 6s. So I'm gonna have to let this just grow for a while to get up to 10, 10, 10. But let me at least gather up this amount so I can make a couple more osmium ingots. But let's head back downstairs and get the material to craft up a little bit more Manulin. As we see here, I have 11 stacks and 16 stacks of cobalt. So let me grab 2 of each, and then I'll head down to the smeltery and whip myself up some Manulin. All right, there we go. 33 Manulin ingots, 12 osmium ingots. Excellent. So let's check in on the quest book and head back down to a couple of unfinished stuff. So what the world embraces, back in the storage quest line. So I was able to make this white bag, which is going to give me a green bag. But what this is an extra inventory here. So right-clicking it will give me another 18 slots, which is where I'm storing a lot of my tools right now. And I upgraded it to a tier 2 bag using a Baggins's upgrade, which is just string, iron, and wood. So that was actually quite easy to make, and got me that bigger bag upgrade. So this is going to give me a second bag, or a third one at this point. And so that is done. Next one is I did upgrade my dolly to a diamond level, so allows me to pick up more things like spawners if I ever find one. And it looks like I have a choice here. I don't know what these contain other than they are full. Great, so let's take a look. Ooh, monster spawner snowman. Not that useful. I would have preferred, well, pretty much anything else than a snowman. If I could have gotten a zombie or something, that would have been pretty cool. But all right, let's just throw that in. Oh shoot! Ah, all right. Well, that's how that works. So diamond dollies do hold spawners. Let's not put it in the middle of my base. All right, so next guy is let's head down to what the world is built from, and this is where I've been working on the higher tier. So last episode I finished that osmium seed, and as we see now, I now have a lot of osmium ingots. The last 3 in this tier are fire resistant seeds, sulfur seeds, and night vision seeds. So if I head over here, okay, so here on the left tab are all of the materials to make a fire resistance potion. So let's head into the ME system, the NEI system, and look up the fire resistance seeds. So 4 extreme essence, a rune of summer, a rune of gluttony, and a splash potion of fire resistance. And the fire resistance is just working backwards: gunpowder, redstone, magma cream, and nether wart. So let's go and throw all these guys into the runic altar. Actually, let's clear some space here. Alright, and this is probably going to take a while. Alright, that took so long, in fact, that I ended up going out and crafting another Elven Mana Spreader. And I'm going to swap this out as soon as this gets to full. Which, there it is. Right click, and done. Alright, so let's just pull this guy out. Okay. And then one Elven Mana Spreader. And let's make sure that, okay, it's, well, that looks like it's linked actually. So that should pull from the pool. And great. So let's head back into the quest book and complete the fire resistant seeds. Alright, then the next guy should be the night vision seed. So let's grab everything for that. And the only special thing is the night vision of Splash Potion, which is gunpowder, redstone, a golden carrot, which is a carrot and nuggets, and a nether wart. So let's again throw these guys in and clear these out. Let's see if this ticks up any faster now that I've replaced it with a Elven Mana Spreader. And done. And the answer is pretty much no. It did not go any faster. I ended up adding the second Mana Spreader in here to focus mana on the altar. And let's grab the Extreme Essence. Great. Now it looks like it opened up two more seeds, strength seeds, water breathing seeds, and I also want to get the sulfur seeds since I think I have the material for that. So sulfur seeds are going to require the 4 extreme essence, sloth, wrath, and greed, as well as a nether sulfur ore. So let's grab those out. Sloth, wrath, and greed, as well as a another set of living rock and essence seeds. So let's head back to the chest where I was gathering all of our nether stuff, and in here should be a nether sulfur ore. And I think we're going to need some yellow coloring. So let's grab that off of the dandelion crop sticks. So back here, yep, yellow gunpowder. One more gunpowder and I should be good. So let's grab that off the wall. Bing. Head back down. So I think I'm probably going to work on those V mushrooms next. Trying to get those to ramp up. Because I think at this point, I've been putting a lot of things at 10, 10, 10 lately. And it's been working out pretty well. I feel like I'm missing something though. Oh, I think I'm missing one more piece of extreme essence. So do I have that in here? No. Okay, let me go back and craft one. Well, it looks like I won't need to because I have 13 here in the storage area. 16. So let me head back down and just throw one more into the mix. Okay, what am I missing? Oh, I'm missing the seed. Okay, and that took about a full minute for it to build that seed. So a little bit more, and done, and done. So let's head back to the quest book, grab our reward, and we are almost done. Alright, I just can't take this lag anymore. As I move the mouse around, it's just way too jerky. And so I've decided what I'm going to do is upgrade my generation, my RF generators, to a heat generator. And so I think what's happening is that all the steam that's going into the fluid pipes is what's actually creating my lag. So what I'm going to do is make this simple osmium based mechanism generator. So I'm going to need copper, a furnace, planks, and iron. So I have 12 osmium right now, so I think I'm going to make probably I'm going to try at least 6 of these guys. And so let's grab a bunch of that. I think the last thing, alright, so let's load up the material then. I need to make a furnace, so let's go and grab a stack of cobblestone, and let's throw it in. So cobblestone to make a furnace, and then everything else, we're going to need the osmium, the furnace, the copper. Yep, copper, copper. Yep, we're going to need to take this oak wood and transform it. I think that'll be enough, yes, to make the 8 heat generators. So, okay. There we go, 8 heat generators. So what I'm going to do is grab some kinesis pipe. I think I've been storing it here. Golden transport, golden kinesis, great. And let me grab a little bit of glass too, wherever I'm keeping that. So don't have a lot of glass left, but let's head down to the, I don't know what I'm going to call it, the factory level, the generation level. But let's dig over here in this little space and plan out how we're going to power our base. So, wow, this is just terrible frame rates. So the sooner I get this fixed, the better. So let's call this our lava wall. So what I've done is I've gone back to that lava field and grabbed all the remaining lava, and that's going to be now one of the things about the heat generator is it works in 2 modes, a passive mode and an active mode. And what I'm going to do is grab lava here and basically have it drip down and create a layer. Whoops. Okay, no, I'm not. Let's put this back because I think I need to shield it one more. I don't want it dripping down like that. So let's create a path in the ceiling here and try this again. Let that bubble down. Okay, let's try this again. So if I put it in the ceiling, that should give us a straight lava fall. Yes, great. So let's do that, and one more over here. And so that should give us a pretty good path down. So in passive mode, the lava generator works by basically each of the 6 faces of the heat generator can have a different heat source. So let me dig that out. Let me put the heat generator here, and then I'll put a piece of glass on top. Just for now. Actually, no. Let's I don't want to waste my glass entirely, so let's put that here. I'll put another heat generator on top. And so, since these are touching a heat source, the lava, they are automatically producing RF, but they're only doing so at an incredibly small rate. So, at this point, it's generating, well, yeah, I'd say about 1 RF a second instead of, yeah, it's just really poor. So what I'm going to do is lay out the rest of the heat generators. I'm going to try for a checkerboard pattern here. I just don't have any vision of what I'm trying to do. I have it in my head. Alright, so now I have a behind face and a bottom face for these two guys. Let me get a third heat generator here on the bottom. Grab that, put that on top, do another heat generator at the top. Let's grab another one here. And then I think I'd like to clear out the space above. Okay. And here. Great. One more block over there. Okay. So at this point, yep, so let's put a heat generator here and a heat generator here. And then that should give us 8 different generators with a whole bunch of different facings. So, and then here's where it gets a little tricky, because I'm going to use the glass and place it in front here, and I think here. And I apologize if this is going on a little longer. I'm just trying to get the configuration right, or at least right in my head. So if I were to then place a piece of lava up here, nope, not there. Boy, I'm just batting 1,000 right now. Alright, this is my vision of the heat generator area. So what I have is surrounded each of the heat generators on 5 of the 6 sides with lava, and that's going to give me a passive generation of, I think I calculate somewhere around, 4 RF per tick, and then multiplying this out, it's going to take a fair amount of generators to really maximize this, but I think that these guys are very cheap, so I should be able to just expand this pattern out quite a ways, and basically let's hook this into the existing RF network, and all these should begin to power, I think. Or do I need, no, I need emerald. Alright, let me fix that. Okay, I've ripped everything out, so emerald kinesis pipes into the heat generator are going to give me the extraction. Yep, good, that hooked up. So what I'm going to do is now put a emerald on each one of these guys, and then hook it up with the golden transport pipe, or the golden kinesis pipe. Phew. Alright. Done, done, done. Couple more. Whoa, there we go. Wow. That was a lot of power. Okay, so. Not sure if I like that ring. Is it just going in a circle? It might be. So let's kill this one. Okay, so these are going to come out, go around, go out. Okay. And then I'll just hook this up here. Yeah, it seems like the Buildcraft pipes do not like loops at all. So, alright, that's still a very thin line, but that should be heading out back to the farm. And that, in theory, should solve our power needs. And then I'm going to, if this works, let's see how much, if it increases the gathering capability at all. Not sure. Alright, so the MultiFarm still doesn't seem to want to gather up behind the farm. I'm not sure why. But it looks like I am providing a pretty good amount of RF power. Ooh, okay. So it actually extended 2 blocks out this way. That's not what I wanted, because now it's starting to gather material from my growing areas. Okay, so I'm going to have to go and reposition a lot of this stuff. It looks like all it's doing is extending out in this direction instead of cleaning up behind itself. So let me take a cut and see if I can figure out what's going on here. Okay, and this appears to be the last run of the automated farm. So I've managed to get it to the point where it is clearing everything. The downside is my frame rate is now toggling between 9 and 30 frames per second. So what I think is happening is this farm is so huge that essentially all the animation of all the growth is what's actually slowing me down, not the steam engines. At least I don't think so. Or it could just, yeah, it could be a whole number of factors. I don't know. But here's what I ended up doing. I now have 25, I think, heat generators, which are all producing RF power from lava. I have expanded to 4 commercial steam engines, which are all consuming the steam, and I still have excess steam coming from my steam boiler. So I could even generate more RF power if I needed to. And I expanded the farm block. I added a second hatch to speed up the extraction, and I doubled the chest size here to store all of the material. And we can see here that the transport pipes are having a very hard time keeping up with everything. I just don't know how to speed this up. I was reading that there was a stack-based one, and I think I'm just going to be stuck until I can get an AE system up with import buses, because I think the import bus is the only thing that's going to be able to keep up with this volume. So I think what I could probably do is reduce the amount of blocks that are collected here on top. I'll probably restructure the farm. Instead of having 9 10 10 10 seeds of every type, I'll reduce it down to maybe 3 or 4 of every type, and yeah, and get that collecting. Again, I don't know why it's not. I've had some issues with. I had to dig down underneath and replace the dirt floor in a lot of cases in order to get the MultiFarm to expand, and this jerkiness is really driving me crazy. So I think I'm going to call this a success. And so let me regroup and see if I can work on a couple more seeds. Alright, I'm back, and this is the reduced MultiFarm area. So I took every seed type that I created so far and knocked them down to just 3 seeds in the farm, and I think I'm ready to turn on the multi-block. There we go. So what this should do is start collecting down here, if we give it a minute. There we go. Okay, so it's going to run through and gather up everything in this small area, and my frame rate's doing a lot better. I think it was definitely due to having all the animations of all the different seed types. So we'll see how this works, see if we need to prune it down again or how many more seeds I can get before it gets critically slow. But I didn't make any more changes to the energy generation area. I still have the same number of passive heat generators. I still have the same number of commercial steam engines. I expanded the farm a little. I added a second farm hatch. I may have covered that already, but I did expand the chest, and that's keeping up pretty well. I built another access tunnel over here, and I also expanded the transport network. So there's another row of Java barrels that are tracking all my new essence types, as well as some more compacting drawers for the ores, including manulin, of course. And the chest over here is now my new item drop pumper chest, and we can see that things are being absorbed by the sorting system. So fire is up to, well, it's still pretty low. I only just recently got the wither skeletons up to 10, 10, 10, but what I'd like to do next here at the end of the episode is get to work on the last two seeds that are part of that Extreme Infusion Stone questline. So let's take a look over here in the compartment, and I have all the items that I need for the water breathing seed. So throw everything in, and what that's going to do is the water breathing in what the world is built from. Let's see. Dude, the water breathing seed is going to give us, that's going to give us essence for building water breathing potions. And so let's throw everything in down here. So we'll need the 2 runes, the living rock, the essence, and and let's throw everything in. What am I missing? I'm missing the actual potion itself. Great. So throw that in, and I'll just wait it out. Excellent. Alright, so let's cast that in. Grab all the runes back, and there's our water seed. So the very last thing is the strength seed, and so let's grab the material for that. Let's dump the runes back in so I don't confuse them here. So there we go. So let's drop in 4 more extreme essence, the splash potion of strength, the rune, and the other rune. Done. Okay, so let's wait this guy out also. Okay, that took about 3 clock minutes, and it gets me the strength seed. So let's cash that in, and done. So that did not immediately unlock a quest for the Master Infusion Stone, but I can see here in the NEI that the Master Infusion Stone is going to require 1 of every of the other 4 Infusion Stones, 1 of every essence, and then that 4th tier essence, wither, ghast, sulfur, certus, ardite, cobalt, and osmium. Now my problem is I don't have certus quartz yet, and so I was reading how that gets A lot of the quests here in Regrowth are all a function of the reputation that you get by completing lower level quests. And so what I'm going to have to do is go back and finish a lot of those lower tier stuff um, before I can unlock the higher level things like Thaumcraft and AE2. So with that, if you could please leave a comment or a like and let me know how I'm doing. I will see you next time in Regrowth. Bye!